I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for that doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss,
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me keep on running. Toes they gonna take
this is what we got to tell.
Right? Man doing this.
I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Yo,
Get it.
welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. We have a great episode for y'all today. We have a lot of good topics for y'all. And before I introduce two of my brothers that's going to be on the show with me today, let me let y'all know what we're going to talk about. First, Zack Martin, Cowboy legend. Tomo probably in tears. I don't know. He's happy, sad. I don't know how he's feeling. But he retired. Announced his retirement yesterday. We got to address that and react to that. Wemby, Victor Wembanyama, man, he's out for the year. He has a blood clot, right? So he had to take care of his body, and they're going to shut him down for the rest of the year, but he'll be back full effect. That's what they say next year, so we got to react to that. Bobby Portis, suspended. A lot of news going on. Bobby Portis suspended for 25 games, right? So we got to talk about that. We got Carl on to talk about that, obviously. And PK, former hockey player, has some comments about the NBA. We're going to address his comments. Got a video for y'all. And lastly, LeBron James and the Lakers. We haven't talked about LeBron James and the Lakers in a while, but it's been news circulating. How much pressure is really on LeBron James to make a playoff run? So, like I promised y'all, I'm going to introduce my two bros. I got in the middle. We got Mr. In the Red Corner, co-host of In the Red Corner, Mr. You Done Son. They had an episode that's happening on Wednesday. Make sure y'all go check that out with Punch's Point. And they have a live episode coming out tomorrow when this great fight card comes out. They're not going to stream it live, but they will be live reacting to the actual fight live. And we got Mr. CTC himself, Carl talking college. Carl is here with us. He's here. How y'all doing, fellas? Oh, yeah, Carl got an episode coming out tonight. Make sure y'all go check that out. But how y'all doing?
I was going to say for the In the Red Corner, I wouldn't say it's going to be a great boxing card like it is because a lot of people have been getting sick, so it's been a lot of substitutions. So we'll keep y'all posted on if we still going to do it because, a lot of fighters are subbed out now. So we're going to keep y'all posted. But for the most part, it's going to be there. I'm happy to talk some sports on the main platform. I got the HOA here. We got an outsider here with us, Carl. But I'm just saying, I'm doing good.
Hey man, I'm doing great. It's funny though, because the outsider that we got with the HOA, he's a part of creating the HOA. Because remember, we ain't started the HOA. They called us roommates because we was at the bottom of the league together. We was like, no, we ain't roommates. We neighbors. We the HOA. So
that's true.
Appreciate that. But I'm doing good, man. I'm ready to go because in about 55 minutes, Michigan State takes on Michigan to battle with first place in the Big Ten. Tomo, I'm not really there yet. But then we play y'all next, so I might have a shot. You know what I'm saying? But Kevin Willard's worried about other things other than winning the Big Ten. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm ready to go.
Hey, 16 years in a row. Come on now. We built the neighborhood. That's all I got to say. We built the neighborhood.
Hey, I'm glad you said it because I was going to say it, but I ain't want to.
I'm cool. We moved out for a quick second and we moved right back in with y'all. All right. So,
you know what, Joe? You right. I'm gonna take my comment back because you don't forget where you come from, like some others who leave the HOA and be like, man, what y'all talking about? Lakers. But I'm just saying.
Magic.
Want to keep naming? All right, y'all. Look, we got a great show for y'all. But look, before we start, as y'all can see, our boy Davey Dollars is not here. Carl here to replace him. But it's Friday. What Dave always say? What people do on Friday? He say also, what people do on happy hour? They turn up, Tomo. So let's turn up.
Turn me up, 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 up.
All right, so look, we are streaming this on 3 different platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and X. So make sure y'all like the video on all 3 platforms. Make sure you follow and subscribe to all of our social media platforms. You can follow us everywhere at Refuse to Lose Sports, but on X at R2L Sports. So make sure you do that. And share this video with an individual because they can watch this thing live with you and be involved in the show by being in the comment section. We can see all the comments y'all will be putting out throughout the show. Shout out to the first comment by my boy Daniel, being here early like always. What's up, man? How you doing? Glad you're here. And last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. Tomo, floor is yours.
So with that being said, this season has been a wild one for the NFC East, and I would say AFC North too, but we're gonna stick on the AFC East right now because a lot from worst to first is happening, or we just see another team, go from second back to first and end up winning the Super Bowl. Again, shout out to the Eagles for completing the mission this year. But then we've seen the Commanders make a big leap. And all the while, the Dallas Cowboys still have their daily drama show going as the Dallas Cowboys days turn, or whatever soap opera you want to come up with to name it. There was actually a show called Dallas back in the day. So for the youngins that don't know, look it up on YouTube or TikTok, whichever social media y'all on. But then there was this thing called the Great Wall of Dallas, that led to those 3 Super Bowls, that got Troy Aikman those 3 Super Bowls. Just had to let that breathe for a second. And then the Dallas Cowboys tried to recreate that by drafting this guy. They started off with, I think it started with Tyler Smith. The next one was Travis Frederick. He was the center. And then they went and picked up this guy from Notre Dame, Zack Martin. And it kind of started this whole conversation between Steven and Jerry at that moment because I think Jerry wanted Johnny Manziel. And Steven was like, no, we need to go get somebody for that offensive line. And it turns out that Stephen Jones was right. And he drafted Zack Martin. First round, 16th pick in 2014. Whole Cowboy fan base was like, what are we doing? Why would we go get a lineman? Why we keep drafting these linemen? And then boom, 7-time All-Pro. He tied with Hall of Famers like Randall McDonald, John Hanna, amongst those are the most amongst guards. Also, the only player with 7 first-team All-Pros, but the person that has the most that just retired with 8 right now is Aaron Donald. So that right there lets you know him going up against guys like that. He announced it 2 days ago that he was retiring from the league. Well, it's kind of like speculated, but I think it's going to happen because we all kind of expected it to happen. And I want to say, Carl, I know you kind of said something to me about it in the chat, but I looked at it and was like, man, it's another career wasted. And I know you're saying it's not really a career wasted, but to me, I think it is because this is another offensive lineman that Jerry Jones had, and he just squandered it away by letting the talent go to the wayside or not picking the right coach at the right time and just letting things try to build. Granted, Zack Martin is the last person from that, I would say, Jason Garrett era outside of Dak Prescott. They tried to bring Zeke back, but right now Dak is the last person from that Jason Garrett era. Was D-Law there? I think D-Law was there too. But on the offensive side, I'm going to go offensive side of the ball. And I just want to say, man, hats off to him for having one of the greatest careers as a Cowboy. Just having one of the greatest careers as an offensive lineman. Again, 9-time Pro Bowler. I can come up here and tell you that he only got 7 penalties. And you talking about a person who played 11 years on the offensive line and only got 7 accepted actual holding penalties. Like, that's insane to say about a guard. But for some people like this, you just kind of want to see them win the ring. And I know Michael Parsons had alluded to it, and it started a whole argument back in the middle of the season when he was like, when you lose games like this, you feel bad for guys. Like, I'm not really worried too much about Mike McCarthy, but you want to win games for guys like Zack Martin. And this is why, because he kind of felt like this was going to be his last ride. And look at it. You kind of want guys to go out like Jerome Bettis did, or some would say probably what Brandon Graham is going to do, or what Fletcher Cox and them was going to do. You want to go out with a win. No, Fletcher left after they lost. My bad. I had this in the shot. But yeah, for me, Zack, great career. Now let's see what's next. Carl?
Go ahead, Carl.
All right. So, I mean, I know where you coming from, Tomo, when you say career wasted because he didn't get a bowl, he didn't even play in the conference championship. I get all that, but it could be worse. Could be Joe Thomas. So
Right.
Joe Thomas was one of the best tackles in football when he played, and he played on Cleveland. I mean, enough said, right? Couldn't have a consistent quarterback. Team was awful for most of his career, but he was the consummate pro, consummate guy. Like I said, one of the best at his position, and that's not how I look at Zack Martin. But I always I'm looking at it like it could be worse. At least he experienced the playoffs. He was on America's team. Who knows what perks he got for being there? One of the best linemen on the team. He got to play with a great back in Zeke. He had an amazing career. I saw a crazy stat that said he got more All Pros than holding calls, which is top tier. That's top notch. Great career, man. Hats off to him. I think he is a Hall of Famer, especially playing on the Cowboys, being a great lineman like that. I don't know if he's going to be first ballot because, man, I think Luke Kuechly just got snubbed for first ballot. So it's tough to see who's going to be first ballot these days. But he had a Hall of Fame career. Hats off to Zack Martin. And, yeah, that's all I really have to say, man. Great career.
Android Joe? Oh, it's Android Joe. I think something going on with Joe's service right now. So we're gonna wait till he come back.
I think he's good.
Are you good now, Joe?
I'm here. Oh, tell me out. What's going on?
It went.
I thought you took yourself out.
I did because you froze. I don't know what was going on. All right, let's get back to it.
I got hear me. I don't know what's going on my end.
It's blurry, but we can hear you.
It's like
all right, I just had a question for Tomo, man. I don't know what's going on over here. I don't know what's going on over here. I just got a question for Tomo. All right. So, Tomo, do you think that if he felt like if Zack Martin, first of all, great career, Zack Martin. I want to give you a prize, one of the best offensive linemen, in Cowboys history for real. And also, made an all-decade team. I think that's an honor. When you play 11 years and you win and you make the all-decade team, I think that's very huge right there because most of your career is just a decade. Or your whole career is a decade. So, but do you think that if the Cowboys had an opportunity to win a Super Bowl, he would have stayed another year?
I think so. You don't leave like that, especially if you think this team really got a chance to do it. I think so.
The reason why I asked because Dak came out with his comments that we're close, and then Zack Martin retires after that.
I knew the setup was coming, man.
He basically said cap.
Because Jason Kelce, he stayed another year when they lost, thinking they'll win a Super Bowl. But then how they went out, he was like, dog, I'm about to retire. And he retired. Now, I know he probably would have thought he should have stayed. Yeah, they were the Super Bowl, but his mind was like, I don't know, man. So he retired. So and Zack Martin, I think I told you before, Tomo, like a Cowboys Super Bowl would be the best Super Bowl. Like I feel like the Cowboys would benefit from winning the Super Bowl than any other NFL team. I mean, we always talk about the media slander the Cowboys get. Imagine if they win the Super Bowl. They're going to get a whole bunch of attention, a whole bunch of love. Like Carl said, just being a Cowboy, you get extra stuff given to you, thrown at you, So I know it's been good. And not even just winning, but at least getting there and get that media 2-week attention, But he never experienced it. So I felt like when I saw that, I was like, dang, the timing of this. Dak come out with his comments, and then he comes out with that. So that's why I wanted to ask you that question.
So I think, and before we move on, I think for Zack, he was also dealing with a lot of injuries too. So I think when Dak said that, he probably thought Zack was on the verge of like coming back and giving us one more go. So again, like timing in life is crazy because Zack probably woke up and was like, man, my back hurt. I ain't got time to be doing this again. And I'm not about to waste another all season with Jerry making false promises. So I'm gonna just go ahead and take this exit now.
He ain't made a false promise. He said all in. He just meant all in for the players on the team.
That's a false promise because at first he said all in at first. Then he came out and said, oh, no, I meant for the players. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm not going no free agents. It's like, man, I ain't
all in on the players, but had a whole saga with him and CD Lamb. Come on, man.
And that. He ain't signed none of them to like basically
yeah, I'm not
was
saying
almost
that
over.
got his like right before we moved.
That was playing. We all know that.
And about the Cowboys media for 2 weeks in the Super Bowl, What was we talking about after the Super Bowl? That
No, this
comment.
would have
Like,
been
I'm just saying.
this would have been different though.
Hey man,
Y'all
the
get the
Cowboys
Super Bowl
are fine.
Tomo, we would hear y'all everywhere. I feel bad for the opponent because they ain't get no attention.
I feel bad for the Cowboys at that point because now it's gonna be like that Packers game. You got to go out and perform because if you look bad, they might
That's
be
already
talking
a
about
thing
y'all
no
for
matter
2
what.
weeks.
That don't
I
really
know, but
matter.
I'm just.
I don't know, Carl. That happened in the
This is
Super
why
Bowl.
the opponents
though.
come out and show off like that.
If that happened
No,
in the Super
he's
Bowl.
talking about the expectation. I mean, the pressure built because of
true.
expectation. That's every day. That ain't nothing new in Dallas.
That's every day. That's facts.
That's crazy. We do play like 17 playoff games. Y'all are right about that. That's why we beat up on the bad teams. So Bobby Portis. See what you're saying. I understand. I see where you was going with that one, Carl. But we got to move on to some NBA topics right now.
So
but it's really not about Bobby. We got to talk about another team in Texas. We're going to talk about the Spurs, and the news came out that Victor will be done for the season. It was announced that he had a blood clot in his shoulder, and hold up, it's a deep vein.
Thrombosis.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna let Carl take that one for me.
All right, my bad. So yeah, deep vein thrombosis basically meaning deep vein blood clots. They're in the shoulder. Now it's commonly in the calf. Chris Bosh had his in his calf. Now I did look up Brandon Ingram's. His was actually in the shoulder too. But Asar Thompson, another young guy, his was in his leg. So it's commonly in the leg. They had to shut him down for the rest of the season because to combat blood clots, you have to take anticoagulants or blood thinners, which can't really do things on blood thinners. Like it's exactly what it sounds like. It thins your blood. Really, I don't even think you're even allowed to like fly and stuff like that on blood thinners. So
nah.
Yeah, I ain't think so. So very life threatening in the NBA, especially when you're traveling city to city, state to state. Can't really do those things. So they got to shut him down. I think he'll be fine. Like I said, Brandon Ingram's young guy. It was in his shoulder. He came back the next season. Asar Thompson's in his leg, young guy. He came back the next season. So I think he'll be fine. I think he'll come back. It's just crazy how life just hits you. Like I said in the chat when it happened, life just hits you real fast out of nowhere. And you just got to face life, battle back, and get back up. And I think he'll be fine. But very unfortunate for the Spurs. But I think they'll come back stronger. I think it develops the younger guys like Stephon Castle a little faster. They'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Wemby, man, because he still, he has high potential, and he has a high ceiling, and he has high expectations. And when we go back and we do the GOAT debate, we always look at all the little things, right? And the little things, oh, did he do this? Did he do that? And like this man has 70 plus more blocks than the next second place person. He would have easily won Defensive Player of the Year. Like this year. This was his right here. He's going to win it. He was averaging 24, close to 25 points a game. He was averaging a double-double, almost 4 blocks a game. And he just got De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox went there because of Wemby. So now De'Aaron Fox gets there, and he's like, dang, maybe I should have got traded in the offseason. So I don't know how he's thinking now, but now Wemby gone for the rest of the year. De'Aaron Fox did bounce back and beat the Suns for the third time this season, by the way. But, hey, you got to do what's best for him. I'm glad the Spurs made this right decision by shutting him down and letting him have a full recovery, come back stronger than ever. Like Carl said, it's going to be good for them because if they start losing games, which I doubt, I don't think they will start losing games, but if they end up in a lottery, though, shoot, the Atlanta Hawks got the first round pick, and they weren't the worst team in the NBA, right? They got the first overall pick, and they were like at the top of the lottery. The Chicago Bulls. They played in the play-in, didn't they? Yeah, they played in the play-in. Chicago Bulls, when they got Derrick Rose, they were the 15th team in the lottery, I think, 15th, and they got the number 1 pick. So who is to say that they get in the lottery and they get the number 1, number 2 pick?
Hey, trust me, Joe, as a Pistons fan, finishing worse in the league and getting the 5th pick, I understand.
It's like Joe just over here just pouring salt in the wound.
So
hey, Tom, I ain't gonna lie, Tomo. I was gonna say something about that. Y'all, I be seeing it all through Twitter, like tank for flag. I be like, bro, as a Pistons fan, ain't no such thing in the NBA, bro.
It's not a guarantee, bro.
Bro, 3 straight 5th round picks, and we've been constantly at the bottom. I know it. I know the pain, bro.
Y'all were one of the worst teams ever as far as record wise, and the Hawks got the first round pick when they were the best team in the lottery. Like, that's crazy.
The Wemby draft
picks, bro.
I think the Wemby draft, they said the Wizards was one ping pong ball away from getting Wemby. Because it was fixed, Joe. I'm not gonna say nothing. It was fixed. They didn't want to see him on the East Coast.
Ever since Mutombo announced that the Sixers were going to get the #1 pick before it actually came out, I was like, okay, let's get it. But anyways,
it's fixed. It's fixed.
But yeah, so I think this could be like a blessing for them if the ping pong, if everything rose in their favor. No pun, right? So, but it's a sad thing to see, that he has to go through this, because that's one thing you worry about with Wemby and his size is injuries like this. Injuries that are annoying. Like, oh man, there's nothing you can do about this injury, because it's like Carl said in backstage. This is very not, I'm not gonna say normal, but usually guys his size will get something like this versus a guy my height or our height. Right, Carl? If I'm not mistaken, you said
right. It's a factor.
Yeah.
The taller you are, the more susceptible you are to it.
So that's the thing about it. So we all agree, if Wemby is healthy, the only thing that's probably hindering Wemby from being one of the GOATs is his health, right? I think we all probably agree with that. If he's healthy, I figure that he's gonna be one of the best players ever play the game.
Get some muscle on him, get in that paint. I'd be watching Wemby, man. I'd be so disappointed. Like, he just play around the perimeter way too much.
No,
he do.
That's all these kids. You walking in the gym, I'm like, bro, if I had your height, you out here shooting threes, man, get in the paint. You could dominate. Everybody in the paint my height. Like 5,
I'm not gonna
6
lie.
and lower. I'm like, why y'all down here?
The guy that's covering for Pop, I don't really like. I don't know about him. Tell you the truth.
You don't trust him?
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I don't know. I just.
You think it's him making Wemby play around the perimeter?
No. It's something I'm just throwing out there. I feel like, because first when I was watching Pop, I understood what Pop was doing. They were just trying to figure out what he can do. I felt like they would let him loose, that stuff. And then this year, you would feel like it would be like more structure around him and all that stuff. Now since De'Aaron Fox got there, it's been like a little bit more structure and all that stuff. But I don't know, man. I feel like guys like that, it's good to have like Pop not being around I think it's kind of hurt Wemby's growth, in my opinion.
I feel you. I just wish, like, even if you can't bully in the paint because you don't got the weight on you, you can shoot over basically anybody guarding you in the mid range.
Yeah.
But he has grown since he's been in the league, though. He has gotten bigger.
Yeah, I just need him to get away from the perimeter just a little bit.
I think that just comes with the injury factor. Also, you might be thinking like, who is that? AD. Why he don't want to play the 5? He keeps trying to say he don't want to play down there because he might get hurt.
Yeah, AD got hurt. His first game with Dodgers playing the 4.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's just all in your head sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta go out there and play. But Joe, I'm with you on this. Could be, as far as the developmental thing for the other players on the team, this could be that moment where you get more shine on like Shohan and then Castle. And of course, there you go. The other Champagne, shout out to him. Bro played for the Wizards. But guys like that, they get more burn now. So that can help out there. I'm not with you on saying they could get in the lottery. Not this year. Don't do that to me this year. Not this year, okay? Wait another year. Y'all already got Wemby. Don't steal another player from me like this, Joe. Don't do that. As soon as you went down that road, I'm like, why would he say this?
I'm rooting for y'all, Tomo.
I'm rooting for us too.
Hey, look, I might not be in it, so I'm rooting for y'all too.
I know. You out.
Shout out to the Pistons.
Hey, you in the play-in at least.
Hey, we 6 right now.
At least. That's what I'm saying. At least.
Man,
man. Y'all balling.
Man, the Pistons is a big motivation to everybody in the community, man.
No, for real.
You want to get out the neighborhood? Just watch the Pistons, man. Look what they went through last year.
I ain't never forget where I came from. I always shout out the HOA, baby.
And they be mad. They be like, man, we beat the Wizards. I'm like, they ain't got nothing to do with us. We talking about the Pistons right now. Hey.
Can't be mad. Y'all made this happen.
Hey, and they ain't gonna get upset.
It was all fun and jokes when we was 14th or 15th in the league, and we was everybody punching bad.
And then MB probably
speaking of Pistons, Beasley, make sure the camera's off before you start talking.
Right. Hey, bro, oh my God, you he caught himself at the end, but it was too late.
Hey, One thing in this media world, you got to remember: the mic is always hot. I don't care if they tell you it's off air. Remember, the mic is always hot.
I think bro set him up because he was all like, "Okay, cool." He was talking like it was already off, and then he said, "My bitch just went off and started talking." I'm like, "Oh wait, the audio and video is still on."
Man, but it's a clear-cut consensus amongst us three up here that hey, we want you to get well, Wemby. Hopefully everything works out, and we want to see you back on the court. But again, your health is the most important thing in this situation. So I'm glad the Spurs did do what was right. Meanwhile, Bobby Portis made the news again. Wendy.
That was probably
some fries?
Probably autocorrect, bro.
I got to mess with Kev, man. It's all good. He on the high right now. I'm letting all the Eagles have their moment. But he said, Wemby, what? The NBA stay taking hits. I swear it's more major injury to the stars in the NBA than the NFL, and that's crazy. I would say...
There you go.
I think it's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
I was going to say maybe this next one, it could be a conspiracy, but I don't know because we got Bobby Portis. They talking about he got suspended for 25 games for violating the anti-drug policy. Now, what they saying is Portis tested positive for a drug called Tramadol. It's a medication that's used to treat severe pain in adults, and basically in this instance, I guess he's just trying to go through some things. But from what his representation says, it was an accident because he was supposed to take another medication that's called Toradol, which is the actual approved medication by the NBA. So he got his T's messed up. He didn't dot his I's. And now he got 25 games where he got to sit back and he didn't cross his T's. He did cross his T's. He mixed cross his T's. And now Bobby is out for 25 games. And the question is, well, he is appealing it. I want to throw that out there too. He's definitely appealing it because he said it was an accident.
Of course.
But the Bucks right now are 5th. Like you said, Carl, they're one spot above y'all in the East. Game and a half. If we want to we getting real technical with it. I'm with you on that one. They're game and a half. HOA, stand up. What does this do for the Bucks?
I'll go for this one.
Go ahead.
They say I'm crazy.
Oh my God. Nick Sirianni about to pop up. Don't say that.
I really don't care. It's his prerogative, man. So, but look, like, of course, he's gonna say I don't know what happened. He might have took it on purpose, might have took it on an accident, but he did it right by saying that it was an accident. And Carl, I'm pretty sure you fact checked this because you mentioned this in the chat. Was this his first offense?
I keep Googling it. I don't see no other offenses.
All right. And it's 25 games. That's a lot, especially at the time of the season too. That's a rate remaining the season. All right. So, but I do think the Bucks will be okay. I think they'll be okay. I think the Bucks are one of those teams that they gotta get in the dance and they'll be fine. Just don't match up with the Celtics. The Celtics like the only team in the East I see will lose to for sure in the playoffs. But if they can avoid that 7th, 8th spot, then I think they'll be straight, which I think they will, even without Bobby Portis. Although Bobby Portis is playing pretty good this year. He's an energy guy, averaging 13 points a game, 8 rebounds. But I like what they did mid-season. I like how they picked up Kyle. They picked up Kyle Kuzma. They got Kevin Porter Jr. They got 2 guys who can score, right? Without, normally how their team constructed is you got Giannis, you got a bunch of catch and shoot guys around Giannis. Obviously, you got Dame now who can also score on his own, release the pressure from Giannis. But you got guys like Kuzma who, when you kick out for an open 3, he can hit the open 3. But also, he can bail you out and get a bucket himself. Same thing with Kevin Porter Jr. It takes that pressure off Giannis and Dame to be heavy scorers throughout the regular season. Because this is through the regular season, Bobby Porter. Once he comes back, another 3-point shooter, another good defender, all that stuff. And they still got size by having Brook Lopez and Giannis. So although Bobby Portis was a very valuable piece to them, I still think they will be okay going into the playoffs, and he'll come back right in time for that playoff push.
The Kuzma trade definitely helps at this time. Because, again, you thinking about with Chris Middleton, who's just coming back, and I think he's suiting up for the Wizards tonight. So that's another player that they would just –
yeah, they said he's playing. I can look and see right now if he's in the game. Go ahead.
All right, cool. But so that right there, that would have dampened the team a little bit because now you got, I think right now I'm looking at it on ESPN. They say Dame is out tonight probably for
Oh, he started. He played 6 minutes.
My man, look at the
5
Wizards. There we go. 6 minutes, 5 points. I don't even want to talk about Bobby Portis no more. You see the Wizards, Joe? They doing their thing, Joe. But it looked like Dame is out for this game or maybe a couple games. I don't know really. I'm just looking at the depth chart, so I don't have too much information on the injuries. So having Kuzma, Akumpo, Giannis back with Brook Lopez and Kevin Porter Jr., you still got people that can actually get you buckets. This right here, though, I think the NBA is a little – I'm going to talk more so about suspending him for 25 games. Like, is it his name the reason why you suspended him for 25 games? Because if nobody can Google and see that this wasn't his first offense and you giving him 25 games, that's a little harsh, if you ask me. Now, Bobby Portis did have a track record from, just things that came out in the locker room. Now, they trying to get him back for those things, but he served suspension for all of those antics. So it's like, why are you trying to do that? And ever since he's been with the Bucks, because he was on the Wizards at one point, and I wish we would have kept him back then, but ever since he's been with the Bucks, we haven't heard too much about him. Like the one bad thing I've heard about Bobby Portis since he's been with the Bucks is this. And the other thing I heard was when he came out and told Kyle Kuzma, hey man, you only got to worry about dressing up because it's Milwaukee. Everything closed at 9. So after the game, you might as well go ahead on home because it's cold and everything closed. But other than that, you've been good. So that's the conspiracy you need to talk about, kid. Like, what's going on behind this one?
Yeah, so I think, honestly, it's an honest mistake. I mean, Tramadol, Toradol, close in words, both painkillers. I thought Toradol was more so trainers or somebody to give you a shot. But I think it's an honest mistake, and I don't think the appeal will take off the suspension. I think he's still going to get suspended. I think the appeal is to lower the amount of games. 25 is a lot. Like, that's insane, especially for a first-time offender. That's over a quarter of the season. Yeah. And like Joe said, we're past the All-Star break. That would put them out till basically playoffs. That's a lot. I think they'll probably drop it, though, due to the appeal. Maybe I said in the chat 5 to 10 games. Like I said, man, first-time offender, it could very well have been an honest mistake. It's similar drugs, similar names. And, yeah, he's never done this before. Like you said, you've heard of, like, the main thing you've heard of, like, Bobby Portis kind of like anger issues, like fighting teammates. I forgot which teammate it was in Chicago. I think it was I can't remember his name. It was a foreign player that was a shooter. I can't remember his name though. But like that's the most I've ever heard from like Bobby Portis. Anger issues, and they talk about his eyes. But other than that, bro is a big piece off the bench for the Bucks. Bucket, get you boards. He's a very good player. If I remember correctly, he came out of University of Arkansas. I always liked the guy. But yeah, I do think that the Kuzma trade is even bigger now because of this news. And KPJ over there as well, which let's not forget, besides like the whole thing that happened with him and Kaiser, KPJ was on the rise. They was looking at KPJ and Jalen Green as a 1-2 punch in Houston before everything like that came out. KPJ is another guy who had anger issues with the whole Cleveland locker room incident, stuff like that. But KPJ is a really talented player, and he could possibly have been a starter in this league if it wasn't for him being in his own way. So those two pieces right there are really good. Yeah, man, it sucks. I think it's excessive, but I think the Bucks will be all right.
The teammate was Nikola Mirotic.
There we go, Mirotic.
But Kevin Porter Jr., I feel like with him and the Rockets, though, him and Jalen Green just went on. They are two of the same, 2 scorers, and they wanted KPJ to be a point guard, but he a bucket. You know, he gonna look for a shot before he pass, which he can't pass. He gonna look for a shot more. Bobby Portis, so they got a 25-game suspension, and they got 28 games left, and I think he already.
He had to serve. He served one yesterday because they played the Coombs. They won.
He didn't make it. He didn't last.
I'll say this.
So okay, so he'll be back when there's 4 games left in the season, which is, I mean, he ain't getting paid. That's the only thing. But outside of that, I mean, they'll be fine. And look, one thing I'm thinking about as we talking, because I know you said the names are the same. As a pro athlete, when it has all these rules and regulations when it comes to what drugs you take, you kind of gotta like look at the fine print. Like when you take a drug, you gotta look at the rule book, look it up and see like every time you take it, right? That's what you should do. But as a human being, it's normally like, man, I got a headache, man, take this. And you know, what's this? Oh, okay, cool. You read it. Oh, it's legit. Then you just take it. And you never knew that, like,
you didn't even read it.
you're right. Some people don't read it. You're right. But I know me, like, you say what it is, and then it got a capsule on it, it got a label, and it's okay, cool. Now I'm looking, I'm like, okay, cool. I don't take drugs with nobody with my wife. My wife's the only one to give me medicine if I need something. I don't really take medicine like that. But anyways, but people do that. But in the NBA, you kind of gotta like search the rule book before taking this medicine because it could be like legit. I'm pretty sure he felt like this it didn't enhance nothing in his game. But then he got bagged. They checked the system. He got bagged for it. Now he's suspended for 25 games.
It's a painkiller.
You probably thought they was tripping when they came back and said, he was like, huh?
I know, like, we got exactly. I'm not on Roy's.
It's a painkiller. Like, it's not to enhance. It's just, I'm hurt. I need something stronger than Motrin or whatever, or ibuprofen. So you probably was looking for Toradol, like he said, and they gave him the wrong joint.
I wonder. I should look this up. What's the difference, like, as far as the tolerance of like the pain, or so like I don't know the word for it, but what's the difference between those two medicines?
Are you talking about like the ability to get like addicted to it?
No. Well, they. I heard that you can get addicted to it fast. What he actually took.
Tramadol. Yeah.
You know, so maybe that's why it's illegal. Because of that?
I don't know, man. It's a whole nother conversation in my opinion, between drugs and the NBA or drugs and pro athletes, period. It's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, because we've seen a lot of people go into the blue tent and just magically come back out and had a game of the year, but I ain't gonna say too much.
I know. Some people have almost a broken leg and they come to a championship game and their Super Bowl and go crazy.
It's a lot of pill pushing. I'll just say that.
It's the big farm.
Shout out to Jalen Hurts.
Oh my goodness, Joe, you got the clip ready, man. They already gonna kill us, man. As soon as you bring up that name, we'll find a way to be in their algorithms, man. I ain't mad at it because y'all can watch. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, but this guy had another shout out, and he's been on a run. You know, after the NHL All-Star game started off with a fight. Then we had the Nations game last night. You know, Canada won. You know, a lot of people got a lot political side to say a lot about what happened with that game. But this guy here is stirring up some commotion because he talked about the All-Star game and how the NHL All-Star game, you know, there's that grit, the passion is there. But when it comes to the NBA, he had a lot to say.
For the NBA, my question is for those players. Are you leaving a better league than what you came into? Because I'll tell you something, for KD, for LeBron, Steph, all the money that they're making came on the backs of Magic Johnson, of Larry Bird, of Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, all these guys. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind. How we value greatness. It's not just about rings and it's not just about on the court. As an athlete, yeah, I value those things. But the reason why I followed Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant was because of their approach to their craft. They never took a day off. They left it all on the court. It didn't matter whether it was an exhibition game or a playoff game. I don't know. That's the standard of greatness for me in every sport.
Former NHL player, PK. What do you mean by that? That's what I'm trying to figure out here, fellas, because he had a lot. He said a lot there, and when you played the clip backstage, we were kind of. I'm still at a loss for words. Like I still can't find it. Like, where was he going with this one? Joe, you got an idea? Carl, you got an idea? Because I
can go first. So, before I get my take, I saw somebody say this. I'm gonna say it here. I don't know if this is true, but if this is true, I do commend him for doing this, right? So the hockey sport obviously is not as popular as NFL, soccer, baseball, NBA. Basically, probably one of the low-rated sports, right? Although it's entertaining, if you are a hockey fan, it's very entertaining. So somebody said that that was an opportunity for him to put hockey on the airways, by taking a shot at the NBA. And what that did was they invited him back on First Take. Cause that like he was on Get Up at first, and he made some comments, and that brought him on First Take, which is the main platform for sports media, and he got his rocks off, and he was just praising hockey, bashing the NBA. So if that was his, motive, I commend him for that. Good job. All right, do your thing. Take advantage of your opportunity. But he's right in some instance, though. I kind of agree with what he's saying. Like, what he's saying is basically, like, obviously you can't compare the two sports, hockey and NBA. There's two different sports. It's like trying to compare the NFL to the NBA. You can't do that. Hockey is too physical. Although hockey play the same amount of games as the NBA. They do. Hockey also do a 7-game series like the NBA. And they're more physical. Guys play more and all that stuff. So what he's saying is, yo, the product is you playing the game and loving it and what the fans want. You gotta entertain at the end of the day. You get paid all this money, you should be able to show up to these games. Now, obviously the difference in the NBA and hockey that I haven't talked about is the income. NBA, highest paid athlete outside of, like in America, outside like soccer and all that stuff. These guys are high paid. Now people say baseball per year, it's the NBA. NBA is killing per year in payments. NBA don't have to wear only sport outside of soccer, major sport. They don't gotta wear a helmet. Every other sport gotta wear a helmet. Including baseball. Like your face is being shown 24/7. You're playing offense and defense, so you're constantly on the floor. Some NBA players play the whole game, right? So and it's the only sport you actually do that for real. That's a major sport. So that's why they get paid the big bucks. But here's the thing. I'm with him though, because guys don't play. He said that, hey, why you play the game? You should take the All-Star game seriously. You can pay all this money, and it's guaranteed. We're paying this guaranteed money so you can perform in the All-Star game, so you can perform 82 games. If you get a light hand injury, you can't play through that. That's what he's saying. Like in hockey, we gotta play through that, but that's hockey. Now, but I got some stats real quick, y'all, before I pass it over to y'all. Last season, 17 players played 82 games. 29 played 80 plus. All right? I was surprised by seeing 17, I ain't gonna lie. The only all-star caliber player that was there was Sabonis. These are only all-star caliber players. No superstars played 80 plus games last year. 10 years before that, 13 and 14 year, 29 played 82 games, 74 played 80 plus games. Guys like Dame Lillard, John Wall, that's your boy Tomo, stuff like that. Blake Griffin, Carmelo Anthony, a lot of guys played 80 plus games back then. And then in 03, 04, the year before, 10 years before that, 42 played 82 games, 76 played 80 plus. Like, we talking about guys like superstars. Like superstars play right there. And I couldn't go further than this. This is the furthest I can go back. 96, 97, 47 played 82 plus games, 85 played 80 plus. The top two scorers of the NBA, Michael Jordan and Karl Malone, who also met in the NBA Finals, both played 82 games. So obviously, y'all know the saying. The more convenient, the more you get, the less you appreciate. True or false? This is how it is. Y'all remember the days back then? You want to hear your favorite song? You gotta wait for it on the radio. You get in the car, you gotta just wait for it. Now I can just go to Apple Music. I can put in any song I want. But back then, I tend to appreciate songs a lot more than I do now because it's easy access. Everything is so microwave. Everything is so quick. I remember watching commercials. Next time when Dragon Ball Z, dang, y'all been talking for 20 minutes of the whole section. Y'all know how it is. Now, you just watch it jump straight through. No commercials. So right now, they getting paid more. Things are more convenient. They getting paid all these dollars. They get all this stuff off the court. So when you get all that privilege, human nature, you tend to appreciate the actual product. So, not appreciate, I mean. So, those are my 2 cents. I kind of agree with what he's saying.
Am I going next?
Go ahead.
See, this is my thing though, right? Because I think he's blaming like the players for that. And my whole thing is it didn't start with the players. It started with Coach Popovich. Coach Popovich is the reason for this load management we see to this day. So, like, yes, while Joe has them stats, I ask you this. it got lower since 2013, 2014 because Pop started doing that stuff around that time, and then teams caught on. You know what they say? Pro sports is a copycat league. They copy Coach Pop and load management, and that's who I really blame. If I'm gonna blame anybody, I'm blaming him and the Spurs. Now for the All-Star game, hey, look, I got nothing. I get it. You can go to the cup, come down wrong, things like that. But you can do that, have going 50% too. So I don't get why they don't give it they all. Like I look back at the All-Star game where the year that Kobe died, RIP. And they made it to where first 3 quarters, y'all just going for charity. Then to start the fourth, whoever's in the lead, they got to get 24 more points and they win. Man, Kyle Lowry was taking charges in that game. That game got real defensive. That game was lit. And then the format didn't change, but then the effort changed. So then they was like, all right, the effort in this one is now changing. They're not giving the same effort as they did that year in 2020, 2021 or whatever. They would even make an offensive defensive subs. I remember that in that All-Star game. So they go to the tournament. And the more intense game was the one featuring the young guys. When it was the All-Stars versus the All-Stars, that game was a joke. Point blank, period. It was a joke. So that I give on the players. The effort in All-Star games, exhibitions, that's on the players. But here's my thing with that. The All-Star games back in the day, they were good late. The first couple quarters, they putting on a show. They letting people do their thing. Mid-third quarter, though, it's time to win that bread. We locking up. If they can just adapt that, then we get the All-Star game that we all want. First few quarters, yeah, we're going to put on the show. We're going to let them see us do our thing, get open space. But mid-third quarter, that's over with. I'm locking you up now. That's what needs to happen. There's no format change that needs to happen. All that. I get Adam Silver. He's trying his best to I guess, mask the players' efforts. But at some point, you got to be like, look, this ain't on me. If you want anybody to blame them. So I get him from that aspect of the All-Star game. But when it comes to, like, season games and stuff like that, I can't really blame LeBron, Steph, and KD because he talked about leaving the league in a better place than when you got it. Can't blame them. They're just copying what Coach Pop did with the Spurs.
Hey, Tomo, before you go real quick, can I say something quick?
Go ahead.
Man, hey, Carl, I totally forgot about how the format was. We brought it up last show, Tomo, we talked about the All-Star game, I think. But I like that. You know why? What they also did, Carl? With the charity, they had the kids on the court. Remember that? They had the kids like right next to them. In the first 3 quarters, you win, they get charity. You win, they get charity. You win in the fourth quarter, like you said, they put all the points together. Because they started over every quarter. But they put all the points together, they got to get 24. But they had the kids like cheering for them on the court. There's some pride in that, letting the kids down. And then remember that B Cook LeBron with the fadeaway? It was lit. So you're right. They should go back to that.
No, I don't even think they have to go back to that. They can go back to the regular All-Star format, East versus West.
I do like that too. That's my true recommendation. But I will be okay with that too. But like you said, in the beginning, just lobs, throw a show, and then the fourth quarter, they lock in.
Because back then, it was a pride you wanted to win that All-Star MVP. Like, that was a bragging right to go into the rest of the season with. Like, players really wanted that. And I was listening to something, too, and I was like, man, I don't know why I didn't think of this, because Iverson, my dog. Like, that was one of the best All-Star games, the one that was here in D.C. when him and Kobe was trying to win that MVP, and they was going back and forth. Marbury was even trying to get it. But it was just something about the pride that you wanted to be the All-Star MVP at that moment. Now, I can see where PK is coming from with that part about the effort in the All-Star game, because again, this is the moment where all the fans and the casual fans come to watch y'all actually show off this weekend. Like, do y'all thing. This is also why a lot of fans go back and forth about the dunk contest. Like, if I didn't watch baseball, and I'm not a diehard baseball fan, but I do watch baseball. Shout out to BWT, shout out to Teddy. But when the All-Star game comes around, the home run derby to me is similar to their dunk contest. It's like people look for that moment for them to go out there. Now imagine if the players went out there during the home run derby and they was just playing it like it was T-ball. Like they was just like, all right, I'll just try. I don't really want to throw my shoulder out and I don't want to do too much. But it's a pride there. But the NHL, And more so with PK, this is not his first go around on ESPN doing this. I think he did this last year. He had another run like this where he was doing the same exact thing, where he was basically calling out players and talking about the differences in the game and everything. And I was like, oh, that's what's up. Because I think the first time he came on there, somebody was like, it's a black guy to play hockey. I think it was Stephen A that said something about that. So it was like that. And he was from Canada. So like, all right, cool. But with this soliloquy here is you killing the players. And I'm glad Carl said it because I don't think nobody else would have brought this up. Is coaches started this. Pop started this. Pop actually started this. LeBron was playing seasons. Like he was playing throughout the whole season. Like he wasn't taking games off up until, you know, as you get older. But again, Pop showed them the method. If you relax 2-3 games here, 2-3 games there, you make a good playoff run. And that's what players have been doing. Now, to try to get hockey on the map, it's going to work for maybe about 2 weeks. But then you got to do something like this before the season starts, because all we had was the All-Star game and then the Nations game. Now we're going to need a little bit more from you, because I can tell you, I've been to a hockey game. Those are some diehard fans. If you in the DC area and you know how the sports was before the Commanders started winning, you go into a Caps game, you're not going to see too many visitors in there. It's all Caps fans. You might see 1 or 2 visitors there, but it's all Caps fans. So those are diehard fans. So again, where he was coming from with the whole, he tried to bring up the Kobe and MJ and why he followed them. Now it's like, all right, are you challenging these players to say, why are you not giving it your all? Because you really can't say that about the players that you're talking about. Like LeBron gives it his all. Granted, we want to crack out jokes on him, but he gives it his all. He didn't show up in the All-Star game, but 2 nights ago, he out here dunking. Like we was like, where was this energy? I thought your ankle hurt in the All-Star game, but you out here dunking now. KD, he ready to fight CP3 in the game. So it's just like, I mean, I understand where you're coming from about the effort and them leaving it all on the floor. And maybe it was because, again, like Joe said, we didn't have all this social media when Jordan was playing. We didn't have this much social media when Kobe was playing. So all we had was the stories for everybody to go off. Not saying they didn't work as hard, but you didn't get to see when they were tired. You really didn't get to see them in their personal element outside of what you heard. The only thing you really seen was their work ethic, them on the court. Now you can see LeBron talking about Taco Tuesday, and that can really like turn you off a little bit. You like, Jordan would never do this. It's like, you don't know that. Jordan was out there playing golf. So it's just differences. So for him, I like what you're doing, but you gotta find a better way.
So I understand what he's saying, but Carl is right. It started with Popovich, and they were winning, right? Because you want to copy winning. Y'all remember when they played Miami Heat? They had them scheduled to play Miami Heat when LeBron was there on a primetime game, and he set the whole starting lineup. And the NBA got so mad at that. And he had a point, though, because of the schedule. They played like on the, I don't know the exact numbers, but it was a road trip, bunch of back-to-backs. And he like, this is a crazy part of the schedule. Nah, we going to set our players. But that started. And then who adapted that? The Warriors. The Warriors adapted that, you know, with low, like, but they kind of adapted it in game, though. I'm not going to say adapted that because Steph never really low managed all that stuff. Steph played all that stuff. They just ain't played all that minutes. Kawhi Leonard took that and ran with it. Yes, no, he was a protege of that. But that still don't get an excuse, though, because I heard guys like Anthony Edwards. I want to play all 82 games. He tries to play every single game. But I did hear 2 years ago, we always get on AD. Always hurt, always hurt. And I remember they was like, AD can't play back-to-backs. And AD was like, he can't. He said he want to play, but the team said he couldn't play. The team be telling these players they can't play for real. But the player can also say, I'm playing. You know, if you that dude, I know me. I'm not no NBA player and all that, but I'll be that guy that's trying to play every single game. Because like Jordan, Kobe, all them guys said, Jordan said this. He said that I play every single game because it might be that one fan in the stand that never saw me play. For real, they never saw me play. And this is an opportunity to see me play because first impression is everything. I remember I flew all the way to Sacramento. They're going to see the Kings play the Clippers. And Kawhi Leonard didn't even play. Like, dang. This is my boy Fox, though. Keegan, first game. Saw Paul George, he cooked us. We lost. He had 42, by the way. But Kawhi Leonard, he didn't even show up. I was kind of upset. I was going to show up in the Kawhi's and all that to support I'm a Kawhi fan, but he didn't show up. So I get it. I get what he's saying.
You going to show up in the Kawhi's? Sure, you want to wear like some 990s or something? You just gonna wear some New Balance? You gonna wear his shoe?
I don't know, man. I might have touched my ain't going way up there.
I'm just saying. You would have been talking about low man. You would a whole different topic. I'm just saying. Oh man, that's probably the last time Paul George had 40 points too.
Yeah, he
Hello, bro.
What? I'm just saying. He did all that in the podcast talking about coming east. It ain't looking good.
Can he play 40 minutes in 4 games? Like, so that's fine.
Can he play 4 games?
I'm sorry, Paul George. I'm sorry, man.
I'm not. I know how the hockey players feel. Like, come on, bro. Like, what's going on out here? It's too much podcasting going on. Get back in the gym.
Michael Parsons.
That's what I'm saying. He be all right.
I know Carl got a big game.
Yeah. We know Carl got a big game, so we're gonna say, Carl, we're gonna let you get your
I can do this next segment. It ain't gonna start. I don't think it's gonna start exactly at 8:00.
All right, well, I mean, we're gonna roll right into it because it's kind of funny that we talking about effort. And LeBron, here we go. You took the weekend off, you showed up in your street clothes and took the picture with the team, acting like you was the coach or something, or the ball boy. I don't know what was going on. I guess he was doing his best Bronny impression. But we gotta talk about how much pressure is on LeBron to make a deep playoff run. And we all know what happened with the Lakers. They got the trade now. Anthony Davis is with the Mavericks, and we have Luka, who's still trying to get his legs up under him. But this Lakers team here right now, let me go back to my standings. I had them up. They 5th in the West. And we all know what the West is looking like. And the things shape out, and they stay in this spot. They will be in the playoffs, but how far do you think they can go, Carl?
So here's my thing, right? So the trade happens, they get Luka, and Lakers fans are excited about the future. So this year, I don't think Lakers fans are putting that much pressure on LeBron and the Lakers to make a deep playoff run. I think they're more looking, so like I said, towards the future. Now it is LeBron, so he's always going to have pressure to make a deep playoff run. It just is what it is. When you're that great, you always want the pressure on you. But in terms of like the fandom, I think they cool with. Well, I don't want to say cool because it's the Lakers. They're never cool with that. But I think they expect more so winning the first round, possibly losing the second round, depending on what the matchup is, because they don't really have a really good big. I like Jackson Hayes. I like his activity, his athleticism, but he's not a guy that offensively can help you. He's a really good defensive guy. He can block shots. He's a guy who's a lob threat, all that. But in terms of offensively, his game is very limited. And I can't even think of the backup big off the bench. I think they're using Trey Jemison as like a backup big or something like that. But it's just
they got Alex Lynn?
No. Oh, they do. That's right. But I mean, he's a Turk. Anyway, they do have the scoring ability. Luka, LeBron, and Alston Reeves can all score, but defensively, it's a little tough for them. So I don't think the pressure's on them this year. I think the pressure is going into the next year.
I don't think he's gonna be here next year.
You don't think LeBron gonna be there next year?
I don't think LeBron will be here next year. That All-Star game, for me, I think that All-Star game was a symbol of what's to come. I think he's gonna try to rest up for this one, depending upon how this playoff run goes. Let's say right now they 5th, like I said, right? If the playoffs was to start today, they would play the Rockets. I think they skate past the Rockets. All right, not skate. Let me not say that because the Rockets might give them some go. I just seen what the youngest did in the All-Star game. That's probably why LeBron really didn't play. Joe, I think he was right about that. But I think they get past the Rockets. But then after that, he got a lot of hurdles. He got a lot of hills to climb. And then the player that they traded for ain't a defensive specialist. Like, Luka's not going to lock down on anybody. We seen what happened in the finals after he got – I mean, I guess they say he was still dealing with the injury. But, again, once – the injury started creeping up on him and he got tired, because we also say that's why the Mavs traded him, right? He's not going to be able to help. And we all know LeBron, he can try to lock somebody down, but he's not about to do that for 4 to 5 games straight. So, again, hey, J-Mo, I can see it. But if they lose to the Rockets, LeBron not coming back next year. So I can see that. Depends on how this run goes. Is there pressure? Yes, because the name. LeBron James and the Dallas Cowboys and the Yankees and the Lakers, they all have pressure because, again, what the media does by talking about these people 24/7, it creates the pressure. So it's like, well, if you want to keep talking about these narratives, we're going to drive them with you. He has to win. You went and got Luka. Now the Lakers are saying they have to win. Some Laker fans are saying they got Luka because they know LeBron is on his way out and they need a player to replace him because AD wasn't going to do it. But for me, yes, it's pressure, but I don't think LeBron's coming back next year.
Man, it should not be no pressure on LeBron James. Let's just stop, man. The man is 40 years old. Why are we putting pressure on LeBron James? Whatever he does right now is just icing on the cake. That's what it is. Why should it be pressure? The pressure should be on Luka Doncic, not LeBron James. Luka Doncic, last time I checked, is the one who got traded, not LeBron James. Luka Doncic is the one, last time I checked, that was called out by his defensive abilities. He was the last one I know about that was traded because his lack of effort off the court, staying in shape. All these bad things were named about Luka Doncic, and he got traded to LA for AD and 1 first-round pick.
Don't disrespect my Spartan. Throw him in there too.
Who you Spartan? Sorry,
Max Christie.
Oh my bad, Max Christie. He been balling since he been in Dallas. Also, I'm not gonna lie. Although they try to make his numbers look better by comparing his numbers to LeBron and Luka, who better played. Anyway,
Yeah, bro, I can't get with that.
Yeah, AD or Luka. AD played 1 game. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I can't get with that. I know I can't get with that.
But the pressure's on Luka. LeBron is 40. If anybody, Austin Reed said it. If you say LeBron got pressure, you probably a Jordan fan. Literally, you probably just a LeBron hater. I would say that because LeBron James is 40, bro. Like, if he wins the championship, kudos to him. If he don't, kudos to him. He playing well this year. Like, for real. Like, the man that dropped 40 points twice in a 1 week span. I mean, the man is doing crazy things like at this age. The fact that he's able to keep them afloat while Luka is being, very timid right now. I'm saying timid. Luka is being very passive. He's not being the Luka we know. Like he's not being as aggressive like he was. He knows it's not his team. This is LeBron's squad. So, and then the man looked like he's not like loving basketball. Hey, y'all watch? Like, I don't know. He don't look the same to me. He look like he's not having fun. He did a press conference. They asked him what you do after the All-Star break. This man said I had to get away from basketball. He didn't even do nothing. He said I got to get away from basketball. You would have thought coming to a new team and being traded, you'd be motivated to like get with Bron, get with the other guys, and try to get things worked out. But this man said I had to get away from basketball. So the pressure should be on Luka, not LeBron James at all. If anybody put pressure on LeBron James, they just a LeBron James hater.
Well, I'm not a hater. I still think the pressure's on him because of who LeBron is, and just like I said with the media.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The only pressure LeBron has is if he's trying to chase fouls. If in his mind he's like, for me to pass Jordan, I gotta also get 6. Then obviously there's pressure for him to win more. What I will say for the GOAT debate, there is kind of some pressure. The longer he plays, Tomo,
the more he got to win a ring.
The worse it looks that he only got 4 rings. Like if he played 25 years and he got 4 championships in 25 years, and only what? 4 MVPs? You said what?
I said he the Dallas Cowboys.
You told me Eagles. How many years has he played so far? I think 21, right? 22. It's 22.
Yeah, he would be the
Eagles. If he plays 25 years, and in 25 years he got 4 rings, and 4, like people say it's a team sport. Okay, 4 MVPs. Come on, Tomo.
I don't think bro getting no more MVPs.
He not. So I'm saying like the longer he plays, gonna make it worse. Like,
and I get the whole team sport thing in basketball, but basketball is a little different. You control both sides of the floor.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, nah. He can and
I'm
I'm with J-Mo too, though. I know J-Mo tried to change it to say stunned. I still think he is traumatized by that trade. I don't think he's really I think he's still messed up about that. That's why he had to get away from basketball.
Yeah. You can tell by how you playing. And I'm telling you, Tomo, I'm saying Tomo because you kind of one of the LeBron's avoiders. Which is fine. Nothing wrong with that.
I did that for the show, Joe. I told you that.
You let that go? Okay, cool. But for anybody that support LeBron, think about it. If you ever say he's better than Jordan, all people going to say is Jordan played 15 years. LeBron played 25, 10 more years. And the Jordan still got more rings and MVPs. That's crazy. So the longer he plays, it makes the GOAT case worse, in my opinion.
AJ, do your thing. That's what
AJ. Here we got that.
I'm with you on that one, but I agree with you. But if you play longer and you still don't got the amount of accolades, that says a lot. unless he want to use the scoring title. I mean, the points. I don't
Bro,
know.
he's second all time in games played. You know, right by the pass Kareem.
For everything you saying, Joe, sound like there's more pressure on him for this playoff run. It sounds like he need to get something done.
I don't think this year. Like I said,
no
just
pressure.
because he's the LeBron and he's a Laker, maybe. But outside of that, no.
And
Y'all
I'm
had a
with
team.
J-Mo. I'm gonna go ahead, Carl. Right.
I was just saying they don't. Well, I won't say they don't have a team. They don't have the bigs for it.
They don't. They're not beating the Rockets either.
You don't think so?
I personally think they could be the Rockets, but
They could. I'm picking the Rockets. My thing with the Rockets is like their guy is Jalen Green, and will he carry them to the playoffs? You need that bucket getter in the playoffs, and will Jalen Green be consistent? That's my only thing about Jalen Green.
exactly, and that's my thing. Will Jalen Green be consistent? That's why I'm picking the Lakers. I know LeBron is going to be consistent. I know
that's one thing.
They are going to be his buckets. So,
and they're a young team too. First time in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you already know what time. You already know how LeBron will do that. Like if it gotta go 7 games, he's still gonna find a way to win that one. That reminds me of that Celtics team. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna take me to 7, but I'm gonna find a way to win this series.
Okay, a good comparison. But LeBron was different then, though. That was LeBron.
He was way different back then.
That was probably the best LeBron I've seen. Like for real, he was like that.
Was back against the ball. That was back against the wall. LeBron, he like everybody want to leave. All right, JR, just give me the ball.
They still got Vanderbilt. They still got what's his name?
Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they still got J-Mo. He's loafing.
And Dorian Finney.
Finney-Smith.
So yeah, they got pieces, but
he'll give it to Dorian Finney-Smith though. But Vanderbilt will do some problem. He got some size.
Yeah, but Carl, I see. I know it was about 10 minutes in, so I know the game probably about to start right now.
Richardson hit a 3. Hey, bro, we don't even make threes. We start off the game with a Jace Richardson 3. Ooh, I love it.
Got a shirt on. I just realized that. Oh man, Michigan State up right now. I got the. Is it hat green too?
No, it's black.
Oh, okay.
Make sure so you know as you get your last words in, man, so you can go watch the game, man.
Spartans will get the dub tonight against Michigan, and Spartans will be in first place in the Big Ten after tonight.
Hold on, Carl. Huh? Are you adding your pick to the locker man?
I ain't even pick one. I can go find one real quick. Because I don't want to pick my dog of the week, my underdog of the week. Excuse me. So I didn't think I would be actually on for the locker men segment, so I didn't pick one. So I'll go find one real quick as I say my final words. But
go ahead.
Thank y'all for having me as always. It's always fun talking sports on R2L. I will be live either tonight or tomorrow morning, going over games for Saturday. Big slate. We're getting real close to conference tournament time, which means we're getting real close to March Madness, one of the best times of the year. I can't wait. I will, around that time, pick winners like I did last year, pick who I think is going to win the conference tournaments and everything like that. If Jace Richardson scores again, my dog. Jackson Kolar has been playing his behind off lately. Illinois game was literally the Jackson Kolar game, and then again late against Purdue. It's funny how Purdue don't got a 7'1,000" big man, and they lose by 9 because they hit a garbage 3 to cut it to 9. But I'm just saying, that's all I got to say there. Purdue looking a little funny in the light without a Zach Edey or Ronnie Hummel or Isaac Halls or Caleb Swanigan, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? They look a little funny in the light. And Pistons, let's beat the Spurs tonight, baby. Beat the Spurs so I can talk trash to Worm. That's all I got. And I'm still looking for a lock 'em in.
I would say, if you don't have one officially, you can just drop it in the chat, man. We're going to let you go watch the game, man.
Man, I got one for today. I don't have one yet for tomorrow.
Well, make sure y'all tune into ESPN2 on February 22nd, tomorrow, 2 p.m.
Oh, you know what? That's my lock 'em in. I got to look at what y'all favorited by, though. Is that yours?
Yeah, okay, go.
Wake Forest -2.5 at NC State tomorrow at 2:00.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, Joe, you only got to say yours. All right, Carl, man. catch you in the chats, man. I know the college chat about to go live right now.
Yes, sir.
Go Terps.
Ooh, hands them.
Go Terps.
Jeremy Fierce in the free throw line.
See, Carl about to turn up.
We up 7-2, baby. I'm going to catch y'all.
All right, go. Call it.
Man, you just turned up. So you got a preview of the Lock'ems already. We got CTC's own Lock'em in right now. We about to get the rest of the crew. Got it up there, Joe. All right, and if you can see, man, these lock on men's, man, they either gonna work in your favor or they not gonna work in your favor. But right now, I mean, I know we're not really keeping a tally, but we all 2-1. I'm feeling good on the comeback status. But I want to say this before you all are reading the screen. I know you see it here. These are our opinions. Okay. So you can put this in your parlay. That's good money. Spend that money, become a member. We'll say you got to become a member right after this segment. But again, these are our opinions. There you go. Now, Joe, who you got up there?
See, here's the thing though. We all 2-1. So you'd have did some individual, you'd have made a profit. Even with a 1-2 record with the parlay, still a positive, Tomo.
I know.
Because every parlay we put in, 5 turned into like 70. 10 turned into 700. No, 100 turned into 700. All right. 10 turned into 70.
We gotta make a phone call.
100 turned into 100. But obviously, you don't want to bet you win and bet the whole thing you just won. Don't do that. That's not smart. No. But bet what you normally bet, and then you'd have made it 1-2 instead of profit. Let's say you spent $30, but you won 71 times, $40 profit. But the individual records be winning, Tomo. But anyways, I got Denver tomorrow versus the Lakers, 6.5 favorite. I know we just raised about the Lakers, but I'm sorry, you're taking an L tomorrow by 6.5 points, 7 minimum. My man Dave not here. He taking Louisville, the men's, not women. Tomo had ladies last on Tuesday. But he had to take a Louisville, 14.5 favorite. And they won, by the way. They hit 14.5 favorites versus Florida State. So that's Dave's. And Tomo, what's yours?
So mine's because, like I said, it is a boxing weekend. And I was trying to do this last week, but I said, we doing it on Tuesday. I can't give you a boxing, for Saturday, and it's Tuesday. So, of course, we got the big fight tomorrow. We got Midramov versus Ortiz. And I'm taking Midramov for the over. Basically, it's a money line. I knew Ty was going to show up. Shout out to Ty with the pick 'em, man. He got all over Better Biz. But if you want a little bit more context on why I'm making this pick, click the link below and check out In the Red Corner, where we give you all the details on why it was a clear cut across the panel. Some people changed their mind on why they're picking Midramov to win.
Now, speaking of In the Red Corner, let me let y'all know about these shows we got on the network. All right. So first show we're going to bring up and talk about is FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. This is a fantasy football show, but it's all season in fantasy football and the NFL. So Coach is basically covering the off season. He just went over, gave the Eagles all that praise. Y'all watched the show yesterday. Gave the Eagles all the praise and all that stuff. And it was his birthday Wednesday also. So y'all give him a shout out on his birthday. Shout out to my man FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. All right. And then secondly, we got Mr. RBO, Real Ballers Only with Vaughn. This is a NBA show only. He just did an episode yesterday. Also, man, we was lit yesterday, Tomo. He did an episode yesterday. You know what? My brother J-Mo and my bro Devin, they did an episode, all the three of them, talking about the NBA. So make sure y'all go check that out. All NBA content. And then we got CTC, Carl Talking College. I just saw Carl on the show. Like he covers all college all college basketball, all college football. As y'all heard him on the show, he was just watching the MSU games, the MSU fans, why they call us green. But he has an episode coming out tonight to give a preview of game day Saturday tomorrow. He's going to give y'all his predictions. So make sure y'all tune in to CTC tonight. Can't give you the time.
He said, or tomorrow morning.
Notification.
Yeah, click the bell because he said,
or tomorrow morning. Yeah. Click the bell. That's your best bet. Click the bell. And then we got BWT, Baseball with Teddy. Y'all know spring training already started. So baseball has hit off, not kicked off, hit off, right? And this is an all baseball show. I made my announcements. Hey, Tomo, we joined forces. We both Nats fans. All right. So we were on the same page right there. All right. So shout out to BWT. Make sure y'all stay tuned to that. Like I said, baseball had just hit off. So a lot of content will be dropping through BWT Baseball with Teddy. And then we got Dave's Doghouse. Dave's not here right now. By the way, he cut his hair, so we're going to change that logo. Shout out to this girl, all right, Sabrina. All right. But anyways, Dave's Doghouse. He just had an episode also yesterday. Like I said, the network is jumping. He had an episode yesterday, episode 52. This show talks about all athletes or anybody in the sports world give you their lowlights and highlights. If you are in the if you're in a low light reel, then you are in the dog house. If you in a highlight, then you become a dog in the yard. So make sure I go check that out. He brought it to the show last Tuesday. If you were here last Tuesday, you know exactly what we're talking about. So make sure you got to tune in to Dave's Doghouse. All right. And then we got On Phase with myself and my boy AJ. This show is kind of similar to the R2L show. We just talk about NBA, NFL, mainly topics. We may dip and dab into some other topics, but it's just us two faced off. I'm a Commanders fan and Kings fan. He's a Laker fan and Eagles fan. We just opposites. All right. I'm in the East Coast. He's in the Midwest. I mean, we just not. Everything is different about it. I'm bald here. You got the fade. I mean, everything different.
You got two things that match.
Never got to get that match. Never, right? So make sure you got to tune in to Unfade. This is every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central Time. And last but not least, the fastest growing show on the network is In the Red Corner with my boy right here to my right, Mr. Get Down Son Tomo, Ricky, and my boy Ty in the comments. So make sure y'all go check out In the Red Corner. They just did an episode this last Sunday with my boy Mario, aka Punches Point. Wednesday, sorry.
I know you used to the Sundays. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sundays. 2 days ago, right? Great episode. And Tomo, let them know since you're here, what's going on Saturday?
So Saturday we are doing our first version of I would say a live reaction to the fights that are happening on Saturday. We all know about the turkey card that's going down, so you're going to see me, Ricky, and Ty, and we're also opening it up. I told Mario he can join too. Like, we're going to open it up for anybody that wants to come on and live react to the fight. I won't say stream live because, again, we can't stream anything on YouTube, so you'll be getting our live reactions. And Joe, I know you probably watched the episodes, so I want to say here too, this is live in boxing, so you may get a little bleeps here and there. I'm just letting you know. Some people, we may forget the camera on, but again, we're going to do like an open, like just come into the barbershop. We're going to give out live reactions. Now, we know there were a lot of changes in some of the fights. So again, we're going to keep you all postponed on what we do there and which fights we're actually going to do. But Saturday, we are looking to do it. So there you go. Check out In the Red Corner.
I know a lot of fights are different now. A lot of opponents are different now. Very disappointed. But Tomo, since they're not here, let them know about these IG chats. How they can be involved in the chats doing these fights every weekend.
There we go. And Dave not here, but he's still working. Because if you go to one of these Instagram chats, you are going to see an update. I'm telling you right now, you're going to see an update about one of these sports. I know Micah just said something about his representation, not even talking to the Cowboys yet. So that's one of the things that Dave's going to be locked in on. If you want to hear about what's going on with your golf or NHL team, Dave's going to find a way to drop that news for you. Dave's one of the hardest working people in the chats. These chats are only on Instagram. You see the name right there, and you also see the name that's in the banner below at Refuse to Lose Sports on Instagram. You want to be a part of those, I'll tell you. But the chats that we have to offer, NBA, WNBA, NFL, UFC, MLB, F1, that's it. We're trying to tell y'all we diverse over here. College football, college basketball, both men's and women's. We also have the boxing, and then we have a soccer chat. Dave's working on creating this golf chat. We also have a parlay chat, but the reason why the parlay chat is not on this actual banner here is because you have to become a member to join the chat. And when you become a member, you're joining not just a random old chat where you just see people talk about sports. You're actually joining a good, healthy family where we get our good banter off, we get our trolls off, but we also can talk sports. And sometimes, it can get a little I would say it becomes like Def Comedy Jam sometimes in there too. When you say trolling, but sometimes it can become Def Comedy Jam. Right now we are celebrating a few teams winning rings. So that's another thing that you also have there. We want to say shout out to the chats one more time, Joe, because we had a major thing happen too. AJ and Kev linked up at the parade. You talking about two Eagles fans that come from two sides of the world linked up because of the Instagram chats. So I'm just saying, man, like I said, it becomes one big family in there.
And look, Tomo, AJ said when they went out to eat, somebody asked him and said, "Hey, I know each other." He said, they talking about the chats and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And they said the dude was like, "So y'all met online?"
Trying to make it seem like they was dating.
I know, right?
Hey, look, man, in the world that we live in today, man, you could be talking to somebody in Mexico or you could be talking to somebody over there in New Mexico, and y'all just be close because of what the sports world can do. That's the one thing that brings us together is sports.
For real.
So that's why you really want to become a member. So to do that, you click the link below. Now, I will tell you this: if you're new to the channel or where you're watching it at, these prices have been the same. The prices of eggs is $15, but I'm just saying these prices over here R2L has been the same. Now, for the pro level at $2.99, the perks that you're gonna get is you're gonna get loyalty badges next to your name and live comments. You also get priority comments, meaning whatever you got to say at that moment, if you're a pro level member, it's gonna get brought up on the screen, and you get to join one of the sports chats that I told you about. But if you want to jump up, like I told you, they're selling Lucy eggs up in New York. You can probably get this all-star level for cheaper than that Lucy egg that you're gonna buy at the bodega. So for $4.99, you get the same perks from the pro level, but you also get member-only videos where we do a little bit more. We provide more content there. Of course, it's still sports related, but we provide a little bit more content. You also get to join multiple chats. So now you're a part of multiple chats that you get all the alerts in. You also get your jokes off. You also can see reels. There's so many things that happen in the chats. Man, even if you got a business, you can promote it in the chats too, because we got entrepreneurs in the chats as well. Yeah, but you also get to request a topic or a segment nominee, and these are all a part of the all-star level perks. But when you go up to the superstar level now, like I said, they selling Lucy eggs. But for the superstar level, you might can get you about one egg. I don't know what you're gonna do with that one egg. You can't make a chopped cheese with that one egg, but you can get the superstar level for $9.99 a month. You get the same perks from the all-star and the pro level, but you get to join the R2L chat and you get to join that parlay chat that I was telling you about. Winning tickets. A group of brothers to come together and ladies that put these winning tickets together. So you technically can hit, because we already gave you the locker, man. Now you got a parlay chat where you can win more money. Now, let's say you do get the 700 off of 50 cent with the parlay, the 32-leg parlay that you put in, and you win. Now you can pay for your membership for almost 3 years, and we good. So you ain't even got to worry about that one. But that's the gift that keeps on giving with R2L. We also got awards and plaques to the top performers. We give out the actual physical awards at R2L Day. We recently just had our in-person first annual R2L Day, which was a success. I can't wait till next year. We got to start talking about that now because time flies, yo. So we give awards and top performers to those guys. And also member shout-outs. Shout out to everyone that is a member. Shout out to everyone that takes the time to watch these episodes. Shout out to everybody that takes the time to share, comment, regardless of what the comment is. We always appreciate the support. But shout out to our superstar members because they keep this thing going. Shout out to Worm, Joe, Dave, myself, Teddy, Cardo, Coach, Vaughn, Lamar, Giovanni, Chris, Decorius. Hey, Decorius, where you been at, man? I know you've been on Facebook, but where you been at, man? NFL chat looking for you. Mike and Vaughn Lady. Taniqua. Did I say it right? Taniqua. There we go. I'm bad at names, so don't charge it to my head, not my heart. If you watch in the red corner, you know I'm bad at names. That's all I'm saying. So there we go. Become a member today.
Let's get it. Yeah, man, great show. And my last words will be shout out to the whole Refuse to Lose network, all the shows that we have on the platform, like we just went over. Shout out to In the Red Corner. They are 25 subscribers away from 500. Dave is at 125. I see you climbing up there, Dave. I see RBO climbing. You saw the numbers, right? RBO climbing up the charts. You know, they come taking off. Okay, RBO, I see y'all. But shout out to everybody on the network, though. Shout out to everybody in the R2L community. We really appreciate y'all. Y'all keep the engine running of the whole network. We appreciate y'all. And when I say community, everybody in the chats. All right. Shout out to my boy Lambo Anlo for being on the intro. Intro song is by Lambo Anlo. And the logo, the Refuse to Lose Sports logo, is by Ed Han. The info is in the description section. Commanders, y'all already know. First of all, JD5, I know we talk about Wemby. Man, he gotta get some size on him. You heard about JD? He said he gonna work on getting some size. He said he gonna work on getting some size on him. That's what he said. He gonna work on that. He gonna get a little bigger. Now I don't want to get like Lamar and get slower. That's what Lamar said. But get a little bigger. That's what Lamar said. He gained some weight and he felt slower. He had to get thinner. That's what he said.
He did. He definitely got faster.
He became MVP though when he gained that weight. But anyways, Adam Peters addressed the O line, addressed the D line. Don't sign no receiver. Don't do it. Don't sign T. Higgins. If you want to get if you're gonna sign one, sign like don't sign no big name receiver and pay on big dollars. Go draft one. I'd rather pay big dollars on an O line and a D line. Go get Myles Garrett. I'm down for that.
No.
Let's address the trenches. Let's do that. All right. Also, Sacramento Kings. I promise y'all, Tomo, I'll read the schedule out. I want to just read out some of the opponents real quick. The Kings got for the rest of the month of February and March.
I was going to say February over.
Yeah. So we got Golden State tonight. Then we got Utah and the Jazz. So now there have been some injuries, so it's a little different. But the Rockets, the Mavericks, the Nuggets, the Spurs, the Clippers, the Knicks, the Warriors, the Suns, Grizzlies, Cleveland, Cleveland. Then we got the Bulls, but then we got Milwaukee, then we got Boston, then we got OKC, then we got the Blazers, then Orlando, then the Pacers, and then the first game in April we got y'all, and I might be there April 2nd.
I'm glad you got a break.
I know. I know we got y'all in Charlotte in back-to-back games.
I don't know.
But,
that's a good run for Doug Christie. You've been balling I'm talking about as a coach, so that's gonna be a good run for him.
I told Trent, if we in a playoff picture after this, then we deserve to be in the playoffs. That's what I told him. We won't be no fluke team. Cause we the 9th seed right now. We get to the 6th seed after this schedule. I'm cool with it. But
what happens?
Yeah, but that's all I gotta say for real. Shout out to everybody once again.
My last words is I know the Wizards. Joe done killed my whole Wizards dream with the whole Spurs might get the #1 lottery pick. I ain't even think about another team coming in and getting that pick. I mean, well, a good team anyway. I was more so thinking about the bad team. So thanks for doing that one, Joe. Now my eyes is really open. I gotta watch more players. But Wizards keep finding a way to lose these games because tanking is the best route. You get more ping pong balls. You got a better shot at actually doing it. Even though I still think it's fixed at times. At times, it wasn't fixed when we got John Wall. It was just meant for us to get John Wall. Some people said we should have took DeMarcus Cousins. That guy's no longer on the air. See what happens. Skip that is. For the Cowboys. All right, so where do I start, Joe? I know we got 2 minutes before we get out of here. So for the Cowboys, it's been a debate going back and forth about culture. And I've been hearing the word culture in the Dallas Cowboys for about 10 years now. And if you can't figure out what your culture is going to be after 10 years, then it's really no culture ever going to be built there. But the people that's trying to bring in the culture were 2 guys that sat on the podcast after they got beat by the Packers in Las Vegas. One didn't show up for voluntary training camp, still showed up for training camp. The other guy decided he was going to hold out for his contract. So you say you want to build the culture there. Meanwhile, you got a quarterback who gets all the blame whenever they lose, and there's nothing but a million segments on there, but still has belief in the team, shows up for every game, shows up for every training camp, got paid late. So if you want to really develop the culture with the Dallas Cowboys, I think everyone says it starts from the top down, but it has to be at least one player that's going to stand up and say something in the locker room and be like, hey, bro, how are we in these games but still losing? How are we actually take what Michael Parsons said to Stephen A. Smith when he was defending Dak and all of that, but actually living by those words. When you talked about how they lost to the Packers, you sit up there and say all this about the Packers, about what the defense didn't do, but you keep saying stuff after the fact. So everything about the Cowboys is always after the fact. Jerry Jones does stuff, and then after the fact, he thinks about it. The Cowboys players talk about things they want to do before the games, and then they talk about what they need to do after the fact. How about you all start making stuff happen in the moment? Then that's how the culture will shift. So that's all I got to say for y'all.
Tomo, who do y'all have in your team that won?
Like a ring?
Who?
No, I ain't say nothing. Outside of Mike McCarthy, that was it.
Yeah, that's what you got. Any winners around y'all
But
to diagnose the culture.
the route they're going now, it's definitely a rebuild. It's not even a soft rebuild. It's kind of a forced rebuild because the whole coaching staff, majority of them come from college. So it's kind of like you bringing in some fresh eyes to the locker room. But I'm with you. It's kind of like what you all did this year. You go and get some proven winners.
Yes.
And it's gonna reshape some things outside of some guys that's just like, I was in the playoffs. Like, yeah, we was there too. What you want to tell me? Like, you go get, like, imagine if a Chris Jones came to the Cowboys. That's a culture shift. Somebody like that. Well,
for real. And think about having these new coaches, the relationships with players might not be there. Jimmy Johnson won one.
Jimmy Johnson won two. Left the residuals from a team, and then another coach is just like, "Hey, man, we just gonna be on cruise control. All you guys got to do is not mess it up."
I know exactly. Well, yeah. So, wow, what a great way to do the show. Start with the Cowboys and end with the Cowboys.
I had to do it, man. I watched them phase, and there was a lot of bashing going on. I had to balance it out, man. Shout out to the Eagles again for winning the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, shout out to them though. They deserve it. They enjoy it now because when the season over, I forgot about that Super Bowl. I'm letting you know right now. But
if it weren't for AJ posting pictures, I don't even talk about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl because I'm like, they're in the NFC East. I don't want to talk about it no more. But I know them panels. Oh, Joe, the panels is gonna be something.
I know they are. I can't wait.
Ooh, the boys is gonna be on something else.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You gotta host that one. You're gonna have to host the Eagles one. I don't know. But we're gonna have to hire an intern or something because they're gonna be on a different level. They talking about dynasty now.
I know, right? All of them are. Okay. All right. But all right, man. That's all we have for y'all today. And we'll see y'all. Y'all have a great weekend. And we'll see y'all next episode on Tuesday. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.